Everybody, welcome tonight. It's Habs tonight post game. It's the midnight special. The Montreal Canadiens have just won Game 5. They are now up 3-2 against the Vegas Golden Knights. I am James, producer James. For those who have watched this program before, I'm joined by Mr. Drew Dekes in the house, and we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about almost matching hats tonight. We are going to talk about we're in unprecedented, at least recently, territory for these Montreal Canadiens. One win away from the Stanley Cup finals in an improbable playoff run, but looking less improbable by the game. And we're going to talk about some of the reasons why we're now we're always believers, but true believers, and everyone else who's not a believer should probably think about, the potential of this team beyond this, game, maybe going some special places. So before we get ahead of ourselves, before we get too excited, Drew, how you doing tonight? How you feeling? It's 12:05 almost here on Eastern time zone in Canada. I don't feel like it's going to matter. I'm excited.
Yeah, the show started at 12:01. I'm like, oh gosh, got to be at work in 6 hours. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, as fans start to tune in and roll in, first of all, welcome everybody. If you're new to the show, subscribe to the channel. We'll throw that out early because usually I'm late in the game doing that. But you just mentioned Believers and Imagine Dragons. That's my new favorite song right now, man. Believers. Right now, man, I love that song. It fires me up. And I said it in pregame with the Nick tonight. This is the first time where, at least in this series, and I haven't really said it all playoffs, where I actually I think the guys are going to do it. And tonight was a really convincing win. And we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but you and I were talking pregame when we're like, it's time to lock it up Saturday. It's time to lock it up Saturday.
Time to lock it up. I think the mentality going into Game 6 at home is win and get ready for the Stanley Cup playoffs. I'm not saying I'm not guaranteeing that. Obviously, I'm just a fan. I'm just a guy wearing a jersey, standing in front of a brick wall for obvious reasons. But it's actually a Carey Price jersey. My mindset, I think, as you say, I don't think they've gone through these playoffs at any point being cocky or thinking like, hey, we're going to, take these guys or whatever. Like, I think they've always been very grounded, but I think now is when you are going to get the best of Vegas, possibly. We'll talk about the goalie controversy potentially that's going to come after this game, but they're going to come into Game 6 with a game plan to win. Like, not that they don't try to win, but the mentality has to be, we don't go back to T-Mobile. We don't fly again. We don't get on a plane. Let's sew this up. So let's talk about this game, and then we'll talk about what they have to do to win Game 6. But first and foremost, so going into this matchup, we were looking at I was actually surprised. I was like, I thought Lehner was going to play again. Where was your head at on that? Because I thought for sure Lehner was going to play again. I had no idea that they were going to come out with this. They were just managing minutes and workload for Marc-Andre Fleury, and all of a sudden Marc-Andre Fleury's back. And you got to think the players were like licking their chops a little bit. Like he seemed a bit exposed in the series.
Well, that's why this banner is going up at the bottom of the screen, producer James. Why Fleury? Why? Really? Like, does anyone remember who Matt Murray is? Matt Murray, who helped finish 2 Stanley Cup series for the Pittsburgh Penguins while Marc-Andre Fleury was the backup. No disrespect to Marc-Andre Fleury. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best Canadian goalies of all time. But when Lehner went in the other night, he reminded me of Tim Thomas, for one, a guy who wasn't flashy. He was just a guy who got the job done in net for his team. And if there was any momentum shift in the series, everybody felt, Habs fans, Vegas fans, that it was in Game 4 when Lehner stood on his head. So why you don't go back to him and help him while he's feeling great about his game, feeling good? Like, did they have too much respect for Marc-Andre Fleury to put him back in tonight? I don't know, man, but I do not understand that decision. We all understood that not everybody understood the decision to put Lehner in Game 4, but if you win, you look like the smart guy, and he did. But now in this game, I don't know how Pete DeBoer, coach of the Vegas Golden Knights, doesn't go back to Lehner. Like, go with the momentum, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think you have to. And he won in that building, obviously, in an overtime game. So I think you just roll it back, and now you're playing, pick a goalie type of thing. And that's never good for your squad this late in the playoffs. But it's desperate measures, I think, and that's just what they have to do. Now, we know who our goalie is going to be, and he had another phenomenal night. And before we talk about Carey Price, if you're in the comment section, just give us your theories on Fleury, why he got to play again, why he wasn't yanked in the third. Not not saying that would have been a good idea myself, but it just, again, we don't know what's behind that. So maybe we can just theorize here on this and figure it out. Carey Price, another sensational game. Not much to say there. I mean, some of the saves we saw, especially near the end, were just complete killers for Vegas, and just a complete boost for the Canadiens. And how many more platitudes and accolades can we throw at this guy? I mean, was there anything he did differently tonight? No, he just plays great positional. He does things like he got scored on. I was almost glad. I was going to say this. I was almost glad that Pacioretty got that goal then, as opposed to some later point, because they were holding these guys to goose eggs across the board. Any Carey comments tonight, or anything that just popped out at you with his game tonight?
Well, you know what? It's just they keep mentioning on the broadcast, and it's true. I mean, these guys, like March or so, Pacioretty finally placed a perfect shot on him, and it went in. And I just don't understand. It's like March or so, Stone, when they showed the stat of all the forwards and all the defense, and the like you said, the zeros across the board. Well, I don't know if you're referring. I think you're referring to Carey there, but the zeros across the board for Vegas's forwards, it's staggering. But this is the team game in front of Carey Price that the team is playing. Carey's doing his thing, but he's got the mental edge right now. We talked about it pregame. Carey has the mental edge like any day of the week, and he's showing that, right? So whether or not he's making showstopper saves, he made a few nice ones tonight for sure. But these guys are trying to put a perfect shot past him, and it's just not happening. There's no rebounds when you miss the net. So Vegas is kind of doing it to themselves, and that's the mental game that Carey Price has. That's the edge he has, is that he tries to make you be perfect, and it's working out real well for the Canadiens right now.
Yeah, I never once saw Stoner just lose his mind. I mean, he was picked off in the neutral zone, and that led to a goal. But it was one of those situations where you just go, and when you see your leadership starting to fray at the edges like that, it can set in some panic, I suppose. And it was just one of those situations where you kind of go, okay, now we've kind of got a bit of the mental upper hand here, and you kind of go for it. So the flow of the game, I want to talk about that in a sec, but let's just remind everyone, you can call in live at habstonight.com. We'll take a few callers tonight. I know it's late. Everyone's staying up past their bedtime, but we're seeing that there's almost 300 people on the stream tonight. So obviously everyone else is, was that?
And counting. We got the hardcores, and now we're over 307. Welcome everybody.
Yeah, welcome. So if you're new here, make sure you hit like and subscribe. If you haven't joined the channel before, we've got tons of great content that we'll tease later in the episode. But I mean, first things first in this game, obviously the big prevailing theme heading into this matchup was the refereeing. So Chris Lee and others that we've discussed on this program ad nauseum, but not as much as maybe people thought we would. We're trying to be, what's the term we use here, Drew, about our ethos around discussion of Habs things? Habsitivity.
You got it. You're the producer. You know it.
I ordered my Habsitivity sweatshirt today. So,
attaboy.
So the refereeing in this game was phenomenally better. Okay,
neutral.
From my perspective. Yeah,
Chris Lee wasn't refereeing tonight. I'm just saying, right? He wasn't, right? Because I didn't hear his name. So
all I know is one of the guys got nailed in the head with a puck, and it didn't look so good.
The linesman, yeah.
Hopefully he's all right. But
yeah,
they had a backup. But the first penalty on was it Byron? The hook. That was I love how they called that, even though it was against us. It was just one of those, they talked about standards. If I hear that word again, standards. They set the standard, and they were pretty good with it tonight. And it didn't hurt that the first period was played at sort of like a 0.75 speed versus what the rest of the series has been. Did you notice that it was like kind of slow?
Yeah, Montreal was slowing the game down, and that's what helped lead to. Well, I don't know that it helped lead to Kotkaniemi's goal. Huge rebound off Fleury, off the Josh Anderson chance, which Kotkaniemi set up, by the way, and then power horse Josh Anderson creates that rebound for KK. But Craig Simpson was saying on the broadcast, he's like, Montreal doesn't mind if you want to have the game slow like this, take the crowd out of it early. They're fine with that, and they showed that, because clearly the pace doesn't matter for Montreal, but they can play with pace. You heard Marc Bergevin say it, and now it's starting to show its true colors. His whole saying before the playoffs started, I think it was before the season started, we can play any way you want, and now they're putting their money where their mouth is, and they're not just talking about it; they're doing it.
Yeah, everyone's bought into the concept, and it's a team concept now. I was joking at one point. I was like, we had double shift the Staal line because they're playing so hard. And obviously that's ridiculous because you don't have to do that. But that was in the first period. I was getting ahead of myself. But look at what those guys did throughout this match. I mean, the Staal line was awesome. I mean, almost across the board, every line did something distinct, unique, great. But we saw the goals that were set up, and we can kind of go through them. But the goal that Staal scored, I mean, this all started with Suzuki, right? And so Suzuki,
my Suzuki jersey is literally in the mail. Mm-hmm. I'm not even exaggerating. So it's coming. It's going to be here Thursday for Game 6. I can't wait to throw that thing on. Big Nick energy, man. All set up by him. Though you're right. You continue your point though. He got 3 points tonight. He's got a 5-game point streak as well, I believe now.
Yeah, he got a well-deserved empty netter at the end of the game, but the vision on the ice and the passing, I mean, it was just, to me, it was exceptional. And it's one of those things where, again, this is a guy who played well in the bubble last year, but now we're just seeing his potential just coming into play. It's beautiful. I'm very proud of the guy. He seems like a really good dude. You saw the story about him hanging around with his buddy when he didn't get drafted. He skipped his media availability after he got drafted. Just seems like a good kid, and then you saw his brother in the juniors this past year, and you're going, oh man, he deserves, while Stone, I'm sure he's a good dude too, but he was smacking the stick around and stuff. And you never see Suzuki do anything terribly stupid, and he just plays the right way, and he holds himself the right way. And just go like, oh man, yeah, I would buy his jersey. It's a good investment.
I can vouch for Suzuki. And the reason I vouch for Nick Suzuki is, and I mentioned this on other post games, is that when he got traded to Montreal in that deal, less than a month and a half, 2 months later, he was playing here in Niagara for the Owen Sound Attack versus the Niagara Ice Dogs. And I thought, I got to grab an interview with this kid. And that was the night I kind of unofficially began my broadcasting career. And I asked Nick for an interview, and he could have brushed me off. He was like, yeah, I got to tape my stick, and then I'll be back in a second. And I was like, okay, cool. I thought he would come back, but like, you never know. Like back in the day, like in the 90s, like when guys were bigger egos and stuff, they could have just brushed you off. But Nick Suzuki didn't do that. He came and talked to me for what felt like 10 minutes and talked to me about, Marc Bergevin really wanting him in that deal. And it's just amazing how young he is and like how poised he is. The Patrice Bergeron comparisons are becoming more and more accurate as time goes on, because it's not just, if you notice, it's not just offensively, like defensively, he's just as good. So that's the impressive part about Nick Suzuki's game right now, is that he's doing it on both ends of the ice with ease. And when he gets hit, like, did you notice he got hit hard pretty, like twice in this series? He got hit pretty hard, and it just woke him up. He got back up, didn't whine, just kept playing. Like the kid doesn't overreact, and that's what you love about him this early, and I can't wait to throw that jersey on. But
I can't wait to see you in it, wearing it with a Habs night hat, which we're all soon to get.
Also in the mail. Also in the mail. And by the way,
I
got to tell you this too. This will be the last night, at least for now, of me wearing this Patrick Waugh vintage '93 jersey, Stanley Cup final jersey, because my buddy Mike needs it back because he's going to Game 6 on Thursday. So
Mikey.
Driving from Niagara Falls 7 hours to Montreal, where he bought this jersey. Shout out Brownie, by the way. I was with him when he bought this jersey in Montreal in 2007, man. Like, we're talking 14 years ago. So anyway, he's got to get this jersey back. So I'll be repping a fresh one maybe on Thursday. Anyway,
or you might be wearing some Habs Tonight officially licensed merchandise from the store, now open at habstonight.com. .net rather. Sorry, habstonight.net.
That was such a commercial. I love you. That was amazing.
Sorry, we're not here to sell shirts. No, we sold a few tonight because we had the Vegas Golden Ref shirt, which is a hot seller, because I think people want to, no matter what happens in the series, people want to remember, the trials and tribulations of the reffing in the first few games. So
did you notice, James, though, about the reffing? And I'll come back to this for a second, because I said things would balance themselves out in the series, and we'll get to Damon in a moment. I know he's waiting in the green room to jump on. Damon, we see you there, by the way. But did you notice that when the calls weren't going Vegas's way, they were getting frustrated tonight? Like, did you see that a couple times? Because as you can see, Pietrangelo in his conference yesterday or today, whenever it was, says how, well, this is how it goes. We're not going to complain, and things are being called right. So, well, there you go. You said it, man. So when things aren't going your way, I mean, but you're telling me but when he said that though, like the Corey Perry non-call when he gets high sticked in the face bleeding, like did he think about that call? Because that was a clear miss from the refs. I mean, that's just obvious, but it doesn't matter. Corey Perry will gladly take that lump, as will Brendan Gallagher, as will guys that are willing to pay the price. And here we are. So that doesn't really matter at the end of it. James, I want to throw this up too.
Go ahead. Sorry. I want
to
make my note on the Martinez thing, but you're going to finish your point.
I was just going to say, for the folks that are tuning in, we got about over 400 people tuning in live, which is amazing. So thank you guys. Like and subscribe, as we keep saying. We're freaking salesmen tonight. But tomorrow, it won't be live, but tomorrow at 8:00, we see Wednesday with former Montreal Canadian Nate Thompson. Going to be jumping on with Dale Weiss for a recorded interview. So this one is usually live on We See Wednesdays, but this one will not be, just because we want to respect Nate's schedule. So be sure to tune in for this one. We got lots of great play interviews already on this channel, and more to come. And we're not even going to talk off season and interviewing current roster players on the show, because we have a Stanley Cup ahead of us that we need to go try to win first. So we're going to focus on that. But Nate Thompson tomorrow, tune in for that. Uncle Nate, former Winnipeg Jet, Montreal Canadiens, Tampa Bay Lightning. Anyway, we can go down the list, but you want to touch on Martinez? It sounded like
he played amazing. I mean, those guys played so hard on that D line, and they pop in and out, and maybe that's what's starting to hurt them, is that pace of play is just starting to drag them down. And you can see, if you could rewind the tape, I can't show it because we don't have the rights to it, but there's about 3 minutes left in the game, and he embellished a shot on himself that looked like he got hit by a Mack truck. And it was sort of this last desperate attempt to try to draw a penalty. And it was kind of hilarious. If you can go back and watch it, maybe my memory of it's a little embellished itself because I'm so excited. But yeah, it was just one of those things where you kind of go like, are you going to try to win games that way? Or, they got to kind of come into the next game and go back to their style. Like it felt like most of that third period was a penalty kill. Like the Jets were on, and they did everything they could to try to get something going. And now you just, I'm very encouraged is what I'm trying to say. I'm very encouraged by what we're taking into that game, as opposed to say after game, 3, was it, where we were kind of on the show going like, all right, we won, but this one felt like a
lucky bounce. Yeah. Fleury, gave that to us, in other words.
Yeah, this one felt good. Okay,
this is more convincing. This is a convincing win.
It did. Now we got our first caller today. We got Damon. What's happening, bud?
Hey guys, how are you?
You still wearing your lucky shirt?
Unfortunately, not yet. No, I'm unfortunate to wash it after a while. This is definitely by far the best playoff game of the season.
Yeah.
And I just what's it called? I just think like our defense and our system is just working so well against Vegas, and I think if we can continue with this, we definitely have like a very good chance of closing out Vegas on I think Thursday it is. Yeah, Thursday. So I've just got to say, like, I've really liked our system, and even with Ducharme out, this system has managed just to work with any coach on Montreal, and Montreal's just done so well with the system, and I love this team so much.
Luke Richardson, stepping in.
Yeah,
and he's
Richardson's done a great job.
Like the perfect, if you think about the way the Canadiens have been playing this entire playoff run, it's been team defense. So bringing in the defensive coach to take over for Dom Ducharme while he's, recovering from COVID. I mean, like, brilliant move, because it just makes sense. 1,500 games played or 1,400 or 1,500 games played in the NHL as a defenseman for Luke Richardson, and then now you see that system just continuing to flourish under him.
Yeah. And the one thing I've also really noticed that Montreal's done well this series, especially, is also a defensive defenseman versus offensive defenseman, which Vegas has, because most of their goals this series has come from their defenses. I'm sure we know, like they mentioned that only Pacioretty, Dubois, and Janmark are the only forwards with goals, and the big thing is that they're relying on their defense too much, which I remember it happened to them last year in the conference finals, and they're sort of falling into the same traps as they did against Dallas, and we need to keep them from falling into these traps. And also, Merrill played really well today, I just got to say, because I remember he was a big part of that first goal. Like, I remember he absorbed the hit, I think it was from Pacioretty, and then he managed to start the breakout where Petrie got it, and then Anderson with that breakaway, I just got to say, I love Anderson's energy.
He's done exactly what Shane and I were hoping he would. Actually, it was Shane that said it first with Dale Weiss here on the program. Was that we wanted to see more of Josh Anderson in this series, and I said it to Dale as well. Actually, we both did say it technically, whatever. But we expected a lot more from Josh Anderson in the series, and we've gotten it so far. So that's a huge thing. And I wasn't sure about these lines. If you notice, like the lines aren't the sexiest on the Canadiens right now. Paul Byron with Kotkaniemi and Anderson. I wasn't convinced it was going to stay together. And the more they play, this team is gelling more and more. And they're just playing opportunistic offense. They're not, cheating at any point in time. They're just getting their opportunities when they get them, because they work for them, by the way, by playing defense first. And then you see the results.
Exactly. And the other thing that I do remember is during the season, I remember Ducharme was just constantly changing the lines, swapping out players and swapping them back in.
Yeah.
But now I feel that he has the lineup, that he has all the pieces right where he wants them, and everything's just coming right into play. And now it's just up to fate now, pretty much. Because like this team is just on fire now. Like Eric Staal, I was at the beginning of his time in Montreal thinking I'd rather have Evans in the lineup, but now he has played very well, and now Eric Staal is really turned back the clock. I'm not saying back to when he was like 2006 or something, but he has pretty much turned back the clock, and he's played really well for us these playoffs. And the thing is, Bergevin's, a lot of his moves are really underrated in my opinion, because he brought in a lot more playoff performers as opposed to regular season performers at the deadline, such as Eric Staal and Merrill, and that has really helped us. And Gustafsson, just got to say, that guy, I hope we can really bring him back next season to help quarterback the second unit on the power play.
Yeah, I mean, that's looking far ahead. Oop, I'm listening to us. I'm trying to share our stream on Facebook here because I'm cool like that. But what was I going to say? I was going to actually mention Marc Bergevin and how, Lou Lamoriello got announced as the GM of the year, by the way. And I'm like, you know what, Lou, you can have it. If we end up if Marc Bergevin's lifting this over his head by the end of the season, the award's all yours, brother. So that's all I got to say about that.
Just as all the players say, I remember when Taylor Hall won his Hart Trophy, said just trade it in for a few more for a playoff series win, which eventually came after so many years of missing the playoffs. But just imagine how nice it would be.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, Damon. Any final thoughts before we bring in our next caller?
That's about it. I just want to say thank you guys for this, and have a great night, and go Habs, go Habs-ativity.
Damon, by the way, was Damon was my interim co-host the other night when we lost Game 4 or Game 5. Was it Game? No, Game.
It was Game 4.
I'm tired.
Good.
It's after midnight. But Damon was a soldier powering through that with me after a tough loss, and here he is back again. So he showed up. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
No problem. Anytime.
Habs-ativity. All right. Bye.
Habs-ativity all day.
Tracy's got thoughts.
Who's Tracy? Tracy, never heard of her.
What's up, guys?
What up?
Oh, my heart's still racing, but I'm good.
Where's it? It was a pretty crazy third period. I think everyone was stressing out.
Nice close up of your index finger.
Yeah. Just trying to get my camera straight because I'm charging my phone.
Oh, don't worry about the Spike Lee angles. Don't worry about it. What were you saying there, James? About Pacioretty's goal? You were saying you were a little concerned.
It was a little stressful, but actually, where I want to lead Tracy here is just, I guess the theme of the night is how do we're going to try to put this away in Game 6. I think that's the mentality. Where's your head at? What's your expectation? We can't let this one slide, can we?
No.
This almost seems like a must win.
It's crucial. I also said that whoever wins tonight's game is going to win. So if we have to go back to Vegas, I mean, we have to. But, I love how we play on the road, honestly.
Won there twice.
10-2 on the road we are, I think.
Yeah, I wish we could just step it up and play at home. Do it for the crowd. It's a holiday in Quebec on Thursday.
Saint Jean Baptiste.
Yeah.
I got it right, I think.
You did. But just, so many different reasons. We've been waiting for this for almost 30 years, right? So just to be able to close it out at home, I think would be incredible. And I wish I could be there, to be honest. But,
Tracy was a season. I don't know what season ticket. You bought a 10-game package like for 2 or 3 years in a row, and she would drive. She lived in Niagara Falls when she did this, James, by the way.
Oh, nice.
She would buy 10-game packages and drive in the winter from Niagara Falls to Montreal to watch games. So biggest fan in our family, I think. Tracy deserves that title, right?
Hey, I mean, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. But anyways, no, it was awesome. We had a wicked game tonight. I thought our offensive zone pressure was stellar. Like we were just every time, it should have been an easy breakout for Vegas, and they just friggin' rocked it. And like, it was awesome.
Galley was all up in Petrangelo's brain.
Oh,
if he's not scoring, he's doing something.
Letkinen played amazing tonight. Like, he's just kind of a guy in the background, I find a little bit, but he's just always there, always giving 120%. Like, he's just so feisty and never ever gives up on a puck. Like, a puck that he should never have, he always ends up getting it. So
we threw Lecky up as one of our game MVPs after game 3 on the community chat, and it got like 1% vote, which is fine. Carey Price was on there and others, but some people were like, oh, well, why not Nick Suzuki win it? And I says, look, yes, there's a lot of people that could have been on the poll, but part of the reason for that was because Arturi Lekkinen, and he's starting to get a little respect now from the commentators. Bieksa was shouting him out tonight. Said he played like a true Finn, I think it was something like that. Responsible but hard nosed, and God, he's just I'm so
unsung hero.
Yeah, just so many people that have shifted in, and Damon was talking about the lineup stability, and you just go, well, this wasn't all necessarily how we laid it out. We didn't have Cole Caufield starting the playoffs. You know what I mean?
That he didn't start the first 2 games is honestly, now that you look back, it's unreal, right?
KK, yeah, it's just crazy stuff, right? So,
everyone defensively is bought into. Like if you notice, like Cole Caufield hasn't been a liability. They were saying that on the broadcast. Suzuki, obviously not. He's a 200-foot guy. He's back checking all the time. Everybody's bought into the same kind of way of playing. It's a team game. That's how you win. Like you don't rely on 3 or 4 superstars or 1 or 2. You know what I mean? Like
no, like
that's the beauty.
Oilers are the perfect example of that because we live
in Toronto.
We see, we see all the Oilers games, and that's exactly what it is. Connor McDavid's not on. The Oilers they're nowhere, right? Without him and Draisaitl.
Yeah,
and
it just
yeah. So
it speaks to a lot when Arturi Lekkinen is on your first line. Like Arturi Lekkinen was a perennial 4th line player that Habs fans love because he plays his butt off, and he doesn't get rewarded enough. He doesn't have maybe the talent, maybe even, dare I say, the skill as some of his other teammates. But right now he's standing out from the pack because it's not all about offense. I mean, defense is going to win you championships. Offense gets the glory. That's the old saying. And you're seeing that manifest fully in this series.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of times when we get up or we're like, it's a very close, tight game, in the last 10 minutes, you don't see Caufield, but tonight you did.
Yeah,
you saw that whole line out there. Like they weren't breaking up the lines. That's the thing I love about our team is we have 4 solid lines, right? There's they're playing. Everyone's playing well. Like our 4th line, like they say, is not a 4th line with Staal, Perry, or Mia. Like they are just shutting them down, and it's honestly it's incredible to watch. It's just incredible how things have come together and like where we're at. Like I still I feel like I'm dreaming.
Well, yeah.
I actually do feel like I'm dreaming because it's 12:30 in the morning and I might be asleep while I'm doing this. But
we do it for the love of the team, man.
It's still light out here in Alberta.
Yeah, it's only 10:30 where you are, so you're good.
And in the north, right? Last night it was still light out at midnight almost because the longest day of the year, right? It's crazy.
Yeah,
she knows her stuff. Tracy, you do know your stuff. Any final thoughts before we bring Danny onto the show tonight?
No, I just want to say I'm just super happy, super proud to be a Habs fan, no matter what happens going forward, and I just hope and pray that we can just end it on Thursday and then look ahead. I personally am trying to take it 1 game at a time. It's so hard not to look ahead, but
you have to.
We have to just look at it 1 game at a time, and if we can close it out Thursday, that would just be insane.
Yes,
it'd be fun, man. It'd be fun. Then the real fun begins, hopefully.
Yeah, and shout out to Mike Brown because I believe he's going to Montreal. He's texting me.
He's taking the jersey off my back.
Is he?
He just texted me. He's like, I need the Patrick Waugh jersey back. It's going home on Thursday.
Yeah. So. That's exciting. Wish I could be there, but I'll be watching out here and hopefully going crazy.
All right.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, Tracy. All right. Have a great evening. Enjoy
Love your sister.
Love you, Tex.
The Western Sunset.
She's my sister, by the way, if anyone didn't know. But
see you guys.
Later.
See ya.
Just a quick reminder that, if you want to go live in the past, we did do a pregame today, which was awesome. You can see some of the predictions that are often, I feel like you guys are pretty good at the predictions. You guys laid out some pretty good storylines for the show.
I leave it to a Nick, but a Nick said that we got to treat tonight like a game 7. And I think they did, because it just felt like that desperation was there.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. And yeah, again, if you're new to the channel, just please subscribe. We've got so many good things. If this thing keeps rolling, I will stay up till whenever o'clock to be here with Dekes or anyone to talk about these games and share the experience with you, because this is exciting. I can't believe we're here having these chats. I'm going to bring Danny on, because Danny is obviously a hardcore fan. I could see from that.
Oh, yeah. What a game, eh? That was awesome game.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm lucky that I saw that 93 run, and this has so many similar things that is happening from the 93. Like, if you think about it, 93, we really didn't have any superstars on the team, just Patrick, right? And
Richer was gone. Like, there was
we don't have anybody like Matthews or like an elite player, and I don't think we do. Just Carey. Carey is a superstar, for sure.
He is.
Other than that, this team, I have to say, is like they bought into the system. They're all in. I can tell now, and it was this game that I wanted to see how they were going to respond, and it's like. The first 5 minutes, I always tell like my wife, I said, just give me 5 minutes of the game and I'll tell you how they're going to be. And they were like locked in. So it was like, they frustrated. Vegas was pissed. You can tell. They were trying to do anything. They were shutting them down. Like, center ice was gone. Like, they couldn't get anything going. It was like awesome. Like,
Danny, so I think one of the things we didn't want to talk about was after last night's game with the Lightning, just destroying the Islanders 8-0. A little part of me was like, oh my God, are we? Because some people compare us to like the Islanders. Even tonight, they said, we're the Islanders light type of thing. We go, well, fuck, we kind of feel like we're the Islanders not. But the point I'm trying to make is, perhaps going into the home game after they got a late OT, an OT win on our ice, maybe we were set up for a huge disappointment. And the fact that they responded with almost a 60-minute effort, where we were beating them on the boards to the puck almost every single time. Like,
we're hungry. They're getting stronger. You can tell they're getting stronger by every shift tonight. Even the loss. The other night we lost and it was a heartbreaker, but you can tell they're like buying in every shift. They're hitting, everybody's, taking their checks, finishing their checks. And I don't know if you guys heard Luke Richardson today and how I think he made a big difference. He settled the team down. The way he talks and the way he's composed, the things he says, I didn't know he was like that until I started listening now, because he's doing interviews. But he is like, the prayers say we'll go through a wall for him, right? And it's true. Like, you can tell they're buying in. They're in. Like,
what do you think of? Here's another theory Elliot Freeman had tonight about the everyone was crapping on the Canadian division and how it was a detriment to be in this division because the level of competition perhaps wasn't as good as the other three. But then he made the point about the travel schedule and how, like, we know, because we were trying to do these shows with these crazy, like, sometimes you'd be on the East and then sometimes you'd be on the West. And these teams were getting acclimated to East-West travel. And so going down to Vegas, perhaps it wasn't as big a deal for as it would have been for Vegas having to come from Montreal, right? I believe it's 3-hour time difference. So, and I used to travel a lot for business before COVID, and you just go like, yeah, it kind of kicks your ass. I'm not a pro athlete. Like, I know they have their own private planes and stuff, but do you believe that? Do you think that maybe played any factor into this, the travel?
Well, I think like you said, Montreal has traveled to, the West Coast. They're used to doing it. I don't think Vegas did a lot of traveling in their playoffs. They're like playing inside their division, right? But yeah, it could take a toll. Like, I just think Montreal is like locked. Like, Carey is locked. Yeah. Carey is totally locked in. Tonight, he made some saves that he just, just make my, do my stuff. It's like when he's like that, he's in the players' heads. everybody's shooting high. Everybody's missing the net because of him.
Yeah.
He's in their heads already. He like there's like, we saw a few shots like they missed by a foot or two. Like he's in the heads of everybody. They know they have to have a perfect shot, like to beat him, and it's.
Is that the technical explanation for the high shots? I'd love to have Dale on right now to ask him that, because that to me is, maybe it's just it. You just think you can go top on him, and it's just 5 feet above the net.
Yeah, you won't beat him low. You're gonna have to beat him unless he's screened. You're gonna have to beat him high over the shoulder, right? And it's like, you need a perfect shot. Like Pacioretty's shot was like, he's a great shooter, right? So I think he got thrown off a little bit. He double clutched on that shot, and I think it threw him off a little bit. Byron missed the block on the shot a little bit, but yeah, I think the big thing that I'm seeing now is like they're like, whatever happens, like I live in Toronto, right? So it's like, I love all my friends, like they were giving it to me when the Leafs were up 3-1, and it's like, what are you gonna do if you're gonna lose to a better team? There's nothing wrong with that, right? If the team outplays you, and the Leafs were like, at that point they were playing better, but then suddenly something happened. I think like Corey Perry, I loved Corey Perry, man. Like they made. Bergevin made a great decision to get these veteran guys. Sometimes you get veteran guys and they do nothing. But Perry, when I saw Perry, Perry's like in the room and the way he speaks, he's a winner, right? Like,
same with Staal too. I mean,
Staal too, yeah.
He showed up in the playoffs, and that's the most important thing.
And I'm happy he scored tonight. I'm happy because he felt terrible for that giveaway the other night. He felt bad. If you notice that way, when he passed that puck, as soon as he left his stick, he put his head down.
Mm-hmm.
Because before he got to the other player, before he knew what was going to happen. So I was happy for him. Hey, and the kids are playing great. Like 93, we had kids that were playing great, and I think Caufield is going to get stronger. Suzuki and him have a chemistry that's unbelievable, and it's not going to change. Montreal's Montreal's future is like bright. These two guys, like,
I just wish Cole Caufield had scored on Lehner tonight. That would have been my.
Oh, if they put Lehner in next game, this could be the setup, because like that's what's might happen. They won't, like, Fleury played good tonight. He didn't do anything bad. Like Montreal was just hungrier. Montreal was hungry tonight, and they have to play like that on Thursday. They cannot brain fart on Thursday at all. They have to come out playing like, I don't think they will now. That's it. They're at another level. Like Ducharme always said, you go to a regular season, you're in this level, you go into the playoffs, you're in this level, you go into the next round. They're at another level now, and they have to
the attention to detail, I think, is the key. Like that's the attention to detail on every play. Like that's why guys like Merrill and Gustafson are in the lineup, because the little details of the game are working in their favor, and that's why they're in the lineup, right?
Yeah, I like, I'm a Romanov fan, right? I love to see him in, but I don't think they're gonna touch this lineup now. After tonight, I don't think they're touching it. They're not gonna jinx it.
Not with, especially this is the same lineup from Game 4, and that line, they were one shot away from going up 3-1 at that point. So
Merrill played good. Like I'm teeter-tottering on him, right? Sometimes, but
best game of the playoffs so far.
He's playing good. Like the other four, our top 4 Ds are like, great. Knock on wood. Let's hope like nothing happens. I know some of them are in. Weber is hurt for sure. And Petrie too, right? He had that broken thumb or the fingers.
Yeah,
but
they're not playing like they're hurt though.
Yeah, they're like
No,
the Warriors right now. Like Weber's like, Bieksa said he's playing with no thumbs, right? So he's like, so if he knows something like, that we don't, but yeah, they're just playing, heart, And that's the way that's, now I think they're going to do it. They're going to do it. Like, I don't know if they're going to win the cup, but whatever happens right now is like, they're set next year for a long time. These young kids got a taste. They got a taste of it, right? Suzuki got it last year with KK. Now Caufield got it, and this guy Caufield, he's like contagious. You can like his energy is unbelievable. Like you can feel it right through the TV, right? Like it's like
all three of them. All three of them are just bringing such an important element, and they're just everyone's having fun, man. Like they're enjoying themselves, right? Like
Lecky too is impressed. I love the way he's playing. 2 months ago, I wanted to trade him. Like it was like maybe they'll get rid of him because he kind of died down and he wasn't like he didn't find himself on the, I don't know. But now I think with the new, like with the coaching staff and the way like he has a role and he's playing it now and he believes, right? Like you don't have to score all the time. Look at, Dano, right? Is a perfect example. You don't have to score, but if we shut down their top lines, like that's like, I'll take that anytime, right? I'll take defense over offense, right?
Well, that's what's winning right now, and people don't realize that that's like there was a comment on a pregame show. It was a long comment. Remember, James, you sent it to me, and it was saying how to win a championship, you need to get one more point than the other team. Mm-hmm. So, however you get that, it like the defensive structure, it does remind you of the 1993 team because again,
oh my God,
it's just those vibes are there for a reason because it's not flashy, it's not the prettiest hockey, but the whole team is bought into the same system. Like you just said, Lehner is playing with confidence at an all-time high because he knows his role. Everyone knows their role at this point, and they're doing it. And it's just
that's a dangerous team because you don't know you don't know who to shut down. You don't know which line. There is no number one line in this team.
Everybody,
There's 4 lines that can can shut the play hard, and who are you gonna shut down? Like you're going to get contributions from everybody, right? Like, it's a different team, right? Like I'm a lot older than you guys, right? I watched the Habs when they were in their glory days in the 70s. And, like, that's why I got hooked. I came here when I was 7. And when I saw, this guy here, number 10, flying by a wing, and I started watching hockey, I got hooked. And he just, I'm a Habs fan ever since, right? Like, it's been like 50 years now. So it's like, yeah, it's great. Whatever happens, they have the future is good now. I can see like Montreal is going to be there they're going to compete for a lot of years now with the core team they have with the rookies and the young guys.
Yeah, I think it was 21 straight playoff wins when they had 3+ goals, right? So everyone says, well,
you cutting out there, but
yeah, you broke up a little bit. Right. Yeah.
No, go ahead, Dekes, go for it.
I was going to say, I didn't have anything to follow up to that. You're coming through clear now. What was the main emphasis you were trying to get through, though? 21
straight games, playoff wins, 3+ goals, and just saying that.
Yeah.
Again, not to belabor the point, but if you can get those 3 goals, that's the magic number. And we're proving it against a team like Vegas, which can, score in bunches, right? So, looking ahead, if you want to, I just seen the comments here about Tampa, you just go, I don't think Tampa's played a team like us. They say we're like the Islanders, but I think we're different. And again, I totally don't want to jinx us and get too far ahead of anything. I just think that there's a recipe here, and I don't think it's insane for us to think about this thing, going further. So that's all.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. Yeah, if they'll give Tampa, if it is Tampa they're going to meet, or the whatever, I would love to see Montreal and the Islanders. It'll be awesome because it brings it back to the glory days too, right? But they'll give. Right now, I think Vegas, out of the 4 teams, I think Vegas was the strongest team, like that everybody feared, and we proved it, right? We proved it. We shut down Toronto. We proved it. We shut down Winnipeg. or Shifley shut down, his own team with a blunder. I said to my wife, as soon as he did that, and I said to my wife, oh man, he just handed us this series because Montreal it's motivated now, right? It's just one thing more that motivates you. If I'm a player and they did that to one of my players, like, let's win it, for him, right? And I hope he gets back in, and Evan gets the chance to play. It'll be great to see him in. But like I said, I don't think they're going to touch the lineup unless, everybody wants to see Tatar in. Like, I like Tatar, but Tatar, he hasn't played in a long time. To get, game ready to just jump in there, it's kind of hard, right? Like,
he's an offensive player that he's kind of I don't want to say one element player, but he kind of can be. Like, he'll get you your 20 goals in the season, and then come playoffs, he just kind of dries up. And if you got a guy like Lehkonen, some people were suggesting taking Lehkonen out of the lineup for Tatar, and I'm like, yeah, but Lecky does 100 more things than Tatar does overall, like just the way he plays.
Maybe at the beginning of the series, of the Leaf series, take Lecky out. He wasn't playing that good, but not now. Not after.
In a rhythm now.
No, I would never take him out. The way he battles, the way he goes and hunts those pucks in the corner and turns them over, and just no. You need players like that. You can't have all goal scorers on a cup team, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you need grinders. You need guys to get in the corner, dig the puck, battle. We're having that. Our lines have identity now, right? They're having rhythm, and they're gelling now. They're like, there's no way that they're not gonna. They go out and they lose the games, and they put 100% effort and they lose it. Fine, you can't do anything about it, right? The most you can ask from your players as a coach is go out there and compete, give it all, leave it all on the ice, and whatever happens, if you get a bad break and they score and they win it, well, you can't do much about that, right? But if you give your 100%, right, like, that's all you can give, and execute the plan that the coaches are telling you, we'll be fine. I got total confidence in Richardson. Like, this guy has him dialed in. I'm sure Ducharme's in there too, during via Zoom or during the intermissions, right? Like, but I think Luke has him. He has done a great job. Like,
he probably deserves more credit, right? Like, I mean, Ducharme's the head coach, but behind the scenes, what we probably weren't seeing until now was the impact that Luke Richardson was having on this team. Not even just the defensive guys that he coaches, like just the entire team. And just touching on Tampa and Vegas again, I do feel like going back to the Tampa Carolina series, I was more worried about Tampa, actually. So I'm not saying we're going to play them yet. We're not getting ahead of ourselves, but to me, Tampa looks like the team to beat still. So as good as Vegas was, I still think Tampa, having won a cup last year, and I think they're the team to beat, if anything, at this point.
Well, they have like 4 superstars, right? Yeah, they got Stamkos, they got
but they're deeper than, say, a Toronto team. Like, they're actually able to get it done.
Yeah, and they have 4 amazing guys there that can kill you anytime they want, and do anything to you. But I think Montreal, there's just there's something about this team. In '93, we weren't the best team either. If you recall, I don't know if you recall, in '93, we weren't the best team. Like, we almost lost.
It was by committee.
We were 3 down to Quebec. Yeah. We came back, we won that game, and it was slowly. We went on an amazing run. We had those 11 overtime wins, right? And right now, this is crazy. Their power penalty kill is 26 now for 26 or 27 or.
Yeah, they're the best in the league. Well, there's only 4 teams left, but best in the playoffs, I believe.
Yeah, they're 26 for 26. It's amazing. They haven't allowed a PK, a power play goal in 11 games. That's, I think, a record.
Yeah, so, I think they're that kind of stuff's coming. That's just like a product of the way they're playing, right? Like, the stats are all nice and everything, but they're thinking about one thing, and that is going to be obviously a topic of discussion. Those numbers are nice to hear. It's just like you got to keep your eyes on the prize, so to speak. That's what I'm thinking. Right
I
now.
would love to see them win it for like Carey, right? Carey, Weber.
Like he just nothing would satisfy us more to see him.
The young guys we have in our team, not that they can wait, because you never know when you can get back. People are saying like
Corey Perry won it, didn't appreciate it as much, right?
Right, because he goes, I won the cup in my first rookie year, right? And then it took me like, another 8-9 years to get back back to it or whatever. Right? Like it's hard, right? It's like I think that's where they're preaching to the young guys right now. They're saying take advantage of the moment, because you like Caufield and KK and all that. You might see it now, but it might go 10 years and you might not ever see it again. You might never be in the semis, right? So it's kind of like, I think they're grounded that way, and they're like, Suzuki's like mature, past his years.
They're poised.
Like,
they're poised for it.
I never knew
even Caufield, and Caufield's a rookie. Caufield's been here 10 minutes. Nick said, I remember in pregame.
I'm impressed with Suzuki. I'm really impressed. I think
trickle effect. Yeah.
I always said like, once Weber leaves, Gallagher will be like a shoe-in for the next captain. I don't know. I don't know if if he would, or they might just give it to 2-3 years. I don't know. Weber has another 3 more years probably.
Interesting. Yeah, that might be the first time we've heard that on this show, but it makes sense to me.
Actually, Josh Georges and Dale Weiss talked about it on the episode where we interviewed Georges. Because Josh Georges basically like lived with Gally. And you can check out that interview on our channel, actually. But Josh Georges lived with Gallagher in his rookie season, and they still talk. They're still very good friends. When Gally was hurt before the playoffs, he was texting with Georges a lot, talking about different things. And George's wife and Gally still talk. And Gally, I think, is hurt too. By the way, like we mentioned,
he's hurt. He's definitely
he's not himself, but you see how he's contributing. He's finding a way to contribute.
Like you did, right now, if you're not like terminally ill, they're not pulling you out of this game. Like if I'm a player, you're not pulling me, man. I'm not telling you nothing. My 2 broken fingers are fine. Glue them together, tape them, do whatever, chrome, give me shots, numb them, whatever you need to do. Like that's how Petry's playing. I'm pretty sure, Weber, he has a hand injury too. And they're just playing like that, and everybody's at this time. I think everybody's banged up. There's not a team that can be like I see all the the Islanders game too. They're high energy, they're hitting, So sooner or later you're gonna get banged up, right? Hopefully, like it's a byproduct of the playoffs, right? Like hopefully, like we can keep everybody intact, and Josh Anderson woke up. Oh my God, I'm just happy that this guy woke up. Because he is like, with that body frame he has, what he did tonight, he caused that first goal, right? He has to break for the net like that. That's what he has to do.
We haven't had a power forward like him. Like when's the last time we had someone like him?
I don't think we ever had somebody that big as a power forward like that. Like
6'3", 220, I think Josh is.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
I can relate. Like I'm 6'2", 230.
Yeah, me too. I'm like 185.
And it's like, and you get your momentum there and you just start going at me. But I'm happy. I thought he was hurt, because he was kind of a little bit quiet during like the Winnipeg series, and then, that overtime goal really did it for him. He scored those 2 goals for us. It was great. And I think now he's in that, he has that mojo back, right? So it's like great.
Yeah.
100%.
Danny, we're going to wish you a good evening. I really appreciate you coming on for an extended guest hosting. We really appreciate your insight.
Anytime. That's the first time I found out about you guys not recently.
Awesome. That's
just
actually
about
amazing.
Just a week ago or 2. Because I wanted to see if there's any like live streaming on Habs game and everything. So so I didn't know Dale Dale Weiss hosts the show, right? And I just found out. I go, I love Dale. He was one of my favorite players too. So
nice.
If I ever get a chance to get on again and talk to him, and
He loves the interaction, Danny. So he'd love.
I watch. Yeah, I watch.
Sure.
We have lots of Dale coming up. Certainly, we hope after the season ends, which hopefully isn't soon. Sometime in July, we'll start getting some of the players on as well that he didn't want to bug while this was going on. Obviously, they've got other more important things to deal with than a internet live streaming show. But Danny, once again, thanks so much for coming on. Thanks for being a first time caller. We really love it when people come on for the first time and share their thoughts.
I got some merchandise coming from you guys too.
Awesome. Yeah, we love that. Great plug.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Make sure you show the world. All right, man.
All right. Thanks,
Danny,
guys, for having me.
Danny might take one of our jobs. That was like one of the most unreal post-game analysis I've ever
Oh, I'm a diehard.
Not to pump your tires too much, but you deserve it. That was good.
I'm a diehard Habs fan. So anytime, no problem, man.
It shows, man.
Yeah.
It shows. Thanks for sharing everything, man. We appreciate it.
All right, guys. Take care, eh?
Thanks, Danny. Man, taking my job, I think. I can't compete with that, man. I don't know.
You're unreplicable, my friend.
Well, thank you, Producer James.
Problem.
It's almost 1 a.m. No big deal. And still 430 people live on the stream. Like, subscribe, guys, if you want to see great content from Montreal Canadiens stream. Dale Weiss, former Montreal Canadiens captain of this ship, and current Montreal Canadiens roster players will come on live to interact with you on this show after we win a Stanley Cup. Did I say that? But no, we got to focus on other business first, right, James? So,
yeah. And that point of business is Ryland. Ryland, you're probably going to be our last guest tonight because it is almost 1 o'clock, and I know Drew actually has to work. Believe it or not, we don't get paid to be on here to talk about the Habs at 1 a.m. But
that's okay. It's for the love, man. All heart.
It's for the love, but we do appreciate it if you do buy a hat or shirt. That does help the channel. Ryland, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Habs won, so it's a good night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
that's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's why I'm ignoring my wife and depriving myself of sleep because I have 2 young children. We do it because we love it, and
yep.
Yeah,
sure. I gotta get up for school tomorrow too. So.
Oh geez, what are you studying? What are you studying?
Oh no, I'm still in high school. So.
Yeah. Oh, James is cutting out again, but that's okay.
Oh, what a game! Complete team effort. Everyone. I usually there's always a player that I've got a problem with where they played, but tonight just everyone showed up. Everyone did their job, played their role. It was great to watch, honestly.
It was.
Yeah, for sure.
It was it's been like more and more of a team game as the playoffs have rolled on here, and the guys are just getting tighter and tighter knit. Like they realize the specialty of the moment here. And
sorry.
No, go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, at first we weren't like going back to like the Leaf series and stuff. It didn't look like we wanted to be there. We weren't scoring, just nothing was going our way. Maybe, I don't know, and people kind of just lost confidence. They didn't have the drive. But after that overtime win in Game 6, I think it was, just something clicked, and it's been so fun to watch since then. And it's kind of like the first taste I've gotten, at least, of a great playoff run with the Habs, because I obviously wasn't around in '93, and even in 2014, I didn't appreciate it as much, and now it's amazing to watch. It's incredible.
It's special, right? I mean, like that's why we're all trying to, and the players recognize the significance of this moment and how unique it is, and how they keep saying how hard it can be to get back to this moment where you're this close on the cusp of the Stanley Cup final, 1 game away, 1 win away. Somebody asked if Dekes is my real last name. No, it's not. It's Thompson. And speaking of Thompson, we're going to have Nate Thompson on, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow.
Segue.
What a segue. That's what we do. Nate Thompson.
That's what they teach you in broadcast school right there.
Just had to throw that in. But he'll be on a recorded interview releasing tomorrow night on the Habs Tonight channel here. And
Nate played with the Winnipeg Jets this season too. So you're going to get some perspectives. Yeah. That's right.
All right.
Ryland, any final thoughts? Not to rush, but we have one more caller, and then we are going to go and put a nightcap on this.
Take a nap, and then go to work.
Yeah, a little cat nap.
Yeah. Final thoughts. The young kids, they played amazing, and that's something I think everyone loves to see. it makes the future look so much more promising. Seeing just what they can do now and imagining what they can do in the future. And obviously, I'd love to see Romanov play. Heavy hitter, great skater, just modern defenseman. Someone I think is going to be an absolute force on our D-core for years to come. Other than that, great game, and I'm hoping we could have a big win on Thursday, and hopefully we'll win a cup by the end of this.
Yeah. No, well said. And celebrate responsibly. Enjoy it, because these moments may not come as often as you think in your young age, but enjoy it, and don't burn any cars or knock over any lampposts in the process.
Yeah, just living in the moment right now and enjoying everything.
Cool, man. All right. Well, you have a good night, and have a good day at school tomorrow.
Yeah, you two guys have a good night.
Thanks, Rylan.
Thanks, Rylan. All right, Jerry C on the show. Jerry, yeah. What's up?
James, Dixie, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning.
Yeah.
Doing all right, man. Doing all right.
What'd you guys think of the game? I caught it late. I watched all of it. It was friggin' beautiful. They played almost flawless. It was very nice to see. What did you guys think? Because I've been listening to everybody. They made great points. But what did you guys think all around, just in general?
Oh, I mean, I think we more or less. I mean, the first two periods were exquisite, and then the last 20 were what you would expect under pressure and duress from Vegas. And I think Carey made a couple sensational saves to basically, put his stamp on the game if it wasn't already obvious. And that's the team. That's the team. They play solid. They play together now as a group. They score on opportunities when they get them. They were bashing them in the boards on both ends. I mean, there was just no
Absolutely.
give up on the board play. And then Carey, who, people forget he is our superstar. He played like one when we needed him, and it was a complete effort. It was a much better top to bottom game than the last, and it was also a better win than game 3.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And Carey always does. This is why I just wanted to say something nice about you guys.
Oh, wow.
But I'm sure lots of people do, but usually, like, I'm not going to name names of other Habs YouTube channels that talk about the Habs. I'm not going to say anything, but how many times you hear about, Carey, is he up to snuff and this and that? Like, the guy's been there for how long? And he's played great for forever. So it's great. That's why I like watching you guys, because it doesn't matter who it is. If they have a bad game, everybody just calls in and like, yeah, it was a bad game and this and that. But that's why I like listening to it, because nobody's shitting on the team. The regular media usually just shits on it. And that's why I don't think a lot of people like to play in Montreal, because constant shit on them is bad. But like, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to play all the time for a team where there's always constant shit? At least this is like, it's honest. You're watching the game. I saw this play. I saw this play. And that's why I love watching this, because everybody gives like an honest opinion. And it's beautiful, because actually, Carey, it was nice to see it. Sorry, I crushed a few bottles before the game after work.
You're doing fine, man. You're doing fine.
It's just nice to see. That's all I wanted to say.
No, we appreciate that, man.
This, right? Like, it's great, because you can watch the game and give criticism where it's due, but it's not actually shitting on the players. And everybody, like I've heard throughout tonight, the very little I've heard, it's collective. Like, everybody played great and everybody came together, and it seems to be what's happening, and it's beautiful.
We appreciate that, man. It's Daniel Bernardo. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. This is an old neighbor of mine. Oh, my goodness. Daniel Bernard, buddy, it is so good to see your name on the screen right now. That chokes me up a little bit, because my buddy Rolly is actually his brother, and he ended up passing away a couple years ago. So seeing his name come up, oh, my gosh, that chokes me up a bit. That's really cool. So, Daniel, thank you. I know it's like totally random and But man, that's what makes this moment special. So thank
It's
you
your
so
point,
much for
Jerry. I
that.
mean, we're trying to build something positive here that attracts people who want to engage as fans, without it turning into a gripe fest. I mean, it's just not fun to be a fan. Like, we know near the end of the season, we didn't expect to be in this position. We didn't think that we'd be, a game away from the Cup finals, and also we didn't think that we'd be having a lot of the great storylines like Cole Caufield. Like there's some tough times there, even in the season, and so. The only way you get through it as a fan, at least, and I'm sure the players too, is you just got to stay positive and have fun with it. Even if your team sucks.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
No.
As long as you're enjoying it. And this is a great run. It's fantastic. It's really, really good. And today was probably the best game I've seen them play.
Yeah.
I called in a couple of days ago and I actually said Vegas looked scared. I didn't mean scared. I meant they were starting to hit they were almost acting like the Jets. They were getting frustrated. I meant to say and you can tell they're frustrated a little bit. Not scared at all, because Vegas, great team. They play well. But you can tell they're getting frustrated. Like I heard they're shooting over the net. They're trying to pick little spots on Carey. It's not going to happen. And they're getting very frustrated. And it's good to see how after they miss a play and they're getting it out of the zone, and the neutral zone, they're taking care of it. They're playing almost flawless.
You mentioned the mental game, Jerry. Sorry to interrupt, but you raised a great point there, which is, and we talked on the pregame, they came from behind to win an overtime game on Canadian ice.
Yeah.
So they're coming back to Vegas with their 18 million fans or whatever they say it is, and their techno music and their lights.
18 billion. 18
yeah.
million.
And their own fans were booing them by the end of the game.
Out of the gate. The Habs are dictating the pace of play. It looked like they're skating on a melting rink. It was so slow. And the fans were out of it. I've seen people wearing cut off shirts, and it was like really like American crowd, and it was just like awesome to see, like just sitting there like, oh.
I heard, to be honest, I heard my wife's crocheting. She's crocheting me a muzzle so I don't scream during the game. I could have swore I said, "Do you hear that here? Go Habs, go, go!" I can hear it underneath.
There was the Olé chant at the end of the game.
But even at the beginning, I just kind of hear. Do you hear that? It sounds like "Go Habs, go." Even in that building, like you said, the mental game. I think it's there. It's getting to them. They're frustrated, not scared. They're frustrated. Exactly like Winnipeg, but they're dealing with it in a different way. A little extra checks, playoffs, obviously, but Montreal's just kind of skating away from it. Like everybody's talking about the refs. I'm like, don't even call a penalty. Looks like they don't give a shit. Pardon my language. It looks like they don't care. They're just gonna do it. They'll kill off the penalty and they'll keep going.
These are the fans going crazy outside the T-Mobile. I don't know if they can see it on the share screen there, but they're going crazy. Yeah, that's hilarious. I'm gonna kill that because it's lagging.
Well, I know Jerry, you guys got to go probably.
Yeah,
we're gonna wake up too. So,
you know what? This will get us through the next couple hours for sure.
I want to say, Jerry, though,
go ahead, man.
Just that what he mentioned. Dale Weiss started this Habs Tonight channel with one thing in mind, and that was to create a show, not a podcast, not your run-of-the-mill podcast, but create a live cast show for Habs fans, for hockey fans, that was different than anything you're seeing. This is interactive with you guys, as you can see. That's what the vision Dale Weiss had from the very beginning. And he's a former Montreal Canadian. He knows what it's like to be in their shoes.
Well, he's one of my favorite. I don't mean to interrupt you, but he was one of my favorite. In 14 and on, since he's been there, it was beautiful. I've seen a couple games with him at the Bell Center. And he's one of the best. And when I saw him on here, you can tell this show was different. That's why I tune in, and that's why I'm lucky enough to even just to talk to other Habs fans, because most other channels won't let you do that. So it's beautiful. And I'd like to thank Dutch Gretzky there, because he's one of my favorites. And I've seen a couple of games at the Bell Center, and it was beautiful watching him. So if you can give him a thank you from me, I'm sure maybe he'll watch it, but personal thank you.
Well, come on the show again and thank him yourself, man. I mean, that's the whole
I'd
that's
love
the whole
to.
beauty of it, you know. I mean, we will, but you know, he loves the interaction with the fans. He loves taking your questions, and we're privileged to be in this position and work with him too. Like we're fans too. So, Habsitivity is the word that got created from this channel, and we have a T-shirt now on our website. You know,
Oh, yeah,
so
absolutely. I wish I had that. I won't be much longer. If I had that shirt in '93, I was at my grandparents' house, and the Leafs lost against the Kings. And I go, don't worry, Montreal will take care of it. Because I was a goalie when I was young. I was this big. I'm not much bigger. And I said, don't worry, we'll take care of it because I love Patrick Roy. And my uncle screamed at me all night, like I had to be sectioned off from the family. It was so bad. Yeah, I got my friend actually bought me a nice WAD jersey. He went to some guy's house. He's like, and this is a CCM Canadian made, so it's old.
matching
And
jerseys, Danny. Matching jerseys. And
I got screamed at that day. And I said, no, I'm meant to be a Montreal fan. I don't care if my family hates me. It doesn't matter.
Your persistence is paying off, buddy.
I hope so. I hope
love
it's going
that.
to be a good one. But guys, thank you very much. It's always beautiful to talk to you and have a great night. And hopefully on Thursday we can celebrate with a couple of drinks.
Crushing cans, man. Tune in. You'll be welcome there. That's no. But you're welcome anytime, Danny. Thank you so much, buddy.
Have a good night, guys.
CJ. Bye.
You too.
All right. Well,
what a show.
What a show. Wow. I wasn't expecting to be here at 1:15 p.m. Eastern time with talking that I think we're ready for the next one.
There we are. Oh, you're back again. Your internet's hating you right now because we had to go all night with this one.
Yeah. I'll let you wrap. All
good. 333 fans. That's a good little thing too with the 33 on tonight. Again, my buddy taking this jersey to the Bell Center for Game 6. So I got to give it to him tomorrow. But Danny, what a beautiful call. Everybody tonight was great. Thank you for tuning in, guys. If you're new to this channel, if you're tuning in, after the game, whenever it is, we just want to say thank you. This has been a special playoff run. It's still going. It's hard to wrap our minds around being one win away from the Stanley Cup Finals, but that's where we are. And like and subscribe this channel. This channel is not for us, it's for you. It's for the fans, it's for all of us. We're all one big community that we're trying to create. We're not trying to be fake. We're positive for a reason, because we try to treat the Montreal Canadiens like we would if they were actually our teammates. That's been the approach that I've taken personally. And Habsitivity, it's a real thing. So it's easy to crap on players and dump on players, and we just don't do that here. We're honest, we're fair. But this is what's different about us. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Again, tune in tomorrow for Nate Thompson. He'll be jumping on the channel with a recorded interview with our very own Dale Weiss. Just another great depth player, great guy who has a great story, an inspiring story too. And awesome. Follow us on social media. Don't forget to do that too. Like us, and we live tweet throughout the games: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're all over the place. We want to connect with you. So we'll end it there, but thanks so much, guys. Producer James, thank you for jumping on with me, buddy.
Thanks, Dekes. I know you got to get up early tomorrow, and really appreciate you jumping on tonight and making this happen. So it was a great game, awesome post-game show. You did an awesome job, and thanks everyone again for watching. So we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers, guys. Go Habs, go.